2 years ago, I was broke, heartbroken, and raising 2 kids alone in a tiny apartment with no heat. Today, I'm a data scientist making $123,000 a year, working remotely, and building a brighter future for my family. How did I go from surviving to thriving? Buckle up. This is my journey from rock bottom to career success. It wasn't easy, but I promise it's a story worth hearing. Before we dive into this incredible transformation, please hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel. Every click helps us inspire others to turn their lives around. Now, let's begin. Let me paint a picture of where I was 2 years ago. I was a 35-year-old single mother, freshly divorced, and drowning in debt. My apartment wasn't just small. It was a crumbling box of peeling paint, leaky faucets, and drafty windows. There were nights I wrapped my children, Emma 7 years old and Liam years old, in layers of blankets because I couldn't afford to fix the heating. Emotionally, I was shattered. My divorce wasn't just a separation from my husband. It was a betrayal that left me questioning my worth. I'd found out he was cheating, and when I confronted him, he walked out without looking back, leaving me to pick up the pieces. He didn't just take his belongings, he took my confidence and stability. After the divorce, I had $58 in my checking account. My job as a part-time cashier paid barely enough to cover groceries. Rent was always late, and the threat of eviction loomed constantly. Debt collectors called me daily, their voices cold and mechanical as they demanded payments I couldn't make. As a mother, I felt like I was failing. Emma would ask, "Mommy, why can't we have pizza like my friends?" Liam would cry for toys I couldn't afford. Every no I said chipped away at me. My kids deserved so much more, and I couldn't give it to them. Society wasn't kind. Other parents at Emma's school would avoid eye contact, as if my financial struggles were contagious. Some even whispered about me. "Poor thing, she's barely keeping it together." Family and friends were sympathetic but distant. Everyone had their own struggles, and I felt like a burden when I asked for help. I wanted to believe I could turn things around, but self-doubt was my constant companion. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw failure staring back. I wondered if this was it, if I'd spend the rest of my life scraping by, apologizing to my kids for things they couldn't understand. The night that changed everything was brutally cold. My gas had been cut off, and the apartment felt like a freezer. I'd just received another eviction notice, and I was staring at a stack of unpaid bills, feeling like the walls were closing in. Emma brought me her favorite blanket and said, "Here, Mommy. You can use this. I'm not that cold." Her innocent kindness broke me. I hugged her, tears streaming down my face. That night, I lay awake in the dark, feeling the weight of every bad decision, every missed opportunity, and every moment of failure. I thought about giving up, just disappearing. But then I looked at my sleeping children, their faces peaceful despite the chaos around them. Something shifted inside me that night. I realized I couldn't afford to give up, not for myself, but for them. They deserved a mother who fought for them, not one who surrendered. It was late one night, the kind of night where the world felt too quiet, and my thoughts were too loud. The kids were finally asleep, wrapped in their blankets to stave off the cold, and I sat at the kitchen table with a cup of cheap instant coffee. The unpaid bills were scattered before me like a taunting reminder of my failures, but I couldn't bear to look at them anymore. Out of sheer desperation to escape my own mind, I opened my laptop, the one with the cracked screen that had been my lifeline for years, and started browsing YouTube. I wasn't searching for anything in particular, just something to distract me from the bleakness of my reality. That's when I stumbled upon a video titled, "How to Learn Data Science for Free. Start Today." At first, I almost skipped it. Data science? It sounded so far out of my league, something reserved for geniuses in lab coats or programmers with years of experience. But something about the thumbnail caught my attention. A smiling woman holding a laptop with the caption, "I changed my life through data science." I clicked on the video, and as it played, my skepticism began to waver. The speaker was down to earth, explaining how data science wasn't just for tech whizzes. She talked about its high demand, the lucrative salaries, and the countless success stories of people who had transitioned into the field with no prior experience. She shared resources, free platforms like Kaggle, Codecademy, and Coursera, and emphasized that with determination and consistency, anyone could learn. As the video ended, I sat there, staring at the screen. For the first time in months, I felt a flicker of something I hadn't felt in ages. Hope. Could this be my way out? Could I, a broke single mom with no tech background, really learn something as complex as data science? The doubts were loud, but the possibility was louder. That night I made a decision that would change my life forever. I told myself, just try. Give it 1 week. If it's too hard, you can stop. But at least you'll know you tried. The very next morning, I borrowed my neighbor's Wi-Fi and signed up for a free Python course. It was a small step, but it felt monumental. My laptop was barely functional, with keys that stuck and a battery that couldn't hold a charge. I had to plug it in constantly, praying the power wouldn't go out. But none of that mattered. I was determined to give this a shot. The course started with the basics, simple concepts like variables and loops, but even those felt like a foreign language. I paused the videos repeatedly, scribbling notes in an old notebook I found in Emma's school supplies. The first week was brutal. Python, with its confusing syntax and endless error messages, felt like an alien language. I spent hours Googling questions like, "What does syntax error mean?" watching tutorials and re-watching them because I still didn't understand. My daily schedule became a juggling act. I worked part-time cleaning offices during the day, helped Emma with her homework in the evening, and studied Python after putting the kids to bed. Most nights, I didn't sleep until 2 a.m. After weeks of struggle, I finally wrote my first Python program, a basic calculator. It was simple, but it felt monumental. That tiny success lit a spark in me, convincing me to keep going. Once I mastered Python basics, I moved on to data visualization with Matplotlib and Seaborn. These tools allowed me to create graphs and charts bringing data to life. Life didn't pause for my learning. Liam got the flu and needed constant care. My landlord threatened eviction again. I was constantly exhausted, emotionally and physically, but I refused to quit. 6 months in, I completed my first Kaggle project, a supermarket sales analysis. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. That project became the foundation of my portfolio. After a year of self-learning, I applied for internships. Most companies didn't even reply, but one small tech firm gave me a chance. The pay was almost nothing, but the experience was invaluable. 3 months into my internship, I created a predictive model that impressed my team. Seeing my work valued gave me a sense of belonging I hadn't felt in years. I continued learning advanced topics like machine learning and SQL. Freelance projects helped me build my portfolio and earn extra money. A year and a half into my journey, I landed a job as a junior data scientist, earning $80,000 a year. Signing that offer letter was one of the happiest moments of my life. Today, I earn $123,000 a year working remotely. I've paid off my debts, moved into a beautiful home, and secured a bright future for Emma and Liam. Thank you for watching my journey. If I can rise from nothing, so can you. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. See you in the next video.